Good evening. Warm welcome back. So we'll be having this opportunity to watch the drill from Bapdada. We continue. Welcome back. It's a beautiful atmosphere that gets created. I would like to just say, for me yesterday, what was nice is this foundation of pure joy of the soul that creates that self-respect. So handing over to Prashant and we'll welcome.
Hello and welcome back. Let us create a few more minutes of attention and let us come to our highest experience. We said highest consciousness is where there is maximum detachment. We use the word invisible alien. The invisible soul is the invisible traveler. We see this time as an alien in this physical world. And by using the word alien,
Ao usar essa palavra extraterrestre,
we imply that there is no familiarity, as if he's coming here for the first time. Everything is new. There is a difference between seeing something first time and you are already there for a while. There is familiarity with people, objects, place. Invisible alien, this moment, visiting this world. For him, even this body and the role, everything is he's seeing for the first time. We try to grasp this perspective. He has not come here to settle down. He's an alien. He's just visiting. He remains the witness. He has come to go. He's aware of it. Any second, he may have to go. He's the alien here, but he's very aware of his world, his alokik world. Invisible alien, he has an invisible home. His world is secure, timeless, changeless, endless. He is the invisible prince in his world. Belongs to the King of Kings. We continue in our journey in the sky and on earth. we aim to remember the perspective of the highest consciousness. One who is in the highest consciousness, his world is the highest. His relations are the highest. Father is the highest. He knows his family is the highest. They all are elevated, noble, divine beings. Worthy of greatest respect. All are worthy of Sanman. One who is in the highest consciousness, he of course has self-respect, but he also knows the true greatness of everyone. In the highest consciousness, you also attract highest things towards you. As we continue our journey, we come back to this extraordinary truth. Thank you. We use the word alien. Sometimes we use the word guest and traveler. But alien has got this extra factor. He is more, more detached. And we said the game here is detachment. The whole problem is getting trapped in the sticky web. That is the problem. And we have to find every way how to step out of this. We used the word familiarity. Imagine you are visiting a place, very first time, one city, there is one attitude. You've been there before, you lived there before, you've been there for a month before, and now you are visiting. There is a difference. You like certain places, you like some people there. There is a difference between the first time and the second time. If there is a straight choice, you might say, I prefer this place, I prefer these people. When you are visiting first time, you don't. So also here, when we grasp this perspective, it gives you an insight into that complete freedom from this world of dolls. Today we heard the puppet show, the reference to puppet show. So this is, if you see this as a world of dolls, and it is a temporary world, there is no sort of extra reference to one doll to any other doll. There is no preference to any doll, not for the invisible alien doll or the whole, that plastic junk that is there in the place. we try to grasp it even for a few minutes. We want to come in the world of Swaman, self-respect and respect for others. But priority for us is to come in the truth. Otherwise, world is full of respect and love. There are so many songs everywhere. But it is Ravan's party that is going on. Our Sanman is very different. Our Sanman should be uplifting others. Otherwise, ordinary respect that happens in this world, it appears very positive, but it actually brings others down. It traps them in that web, traps them in that plastic world. It will be nice if you want to add anything, say anything.
Comments right now in the chat. I hadn't, it was more clear how ordinarily self-respect is very much anthill based, unless it's paid extra special attention, and it kind of can backfire. So yeah, no other comments right now.
Yeah, thank you. The most important thing for us in this shift that we are talking about is the game of the intellect. Everything starts from the intellect. If we are to bring about this change, we may hear 20 times even what is truth. There are books on it. People read this and they can hear that the change is possible if we also understand the great importance of intellect. And what is intellect? How do you understand what intellect is? Do you want to answer? How do you understand this word?
How we make choices, discrimination.
One way to see it is
director of the mind.
Yeah, nice. The intellect helps us have a model of the world. How do I see this world? That is an important aspect of the intellect. Based on that, he can discriminate, he can take decisions, have choices. Like children, for example, some 3-year-old, 4-year-old, their world is revolving around their toys. The toy disappears, maybe a major crisis for them. And that is their world. And as we grow, our world understanding changes. And at present, what is the model that people have, human beings have at the present time? Like before Copernicus, and the model of the world was Earth is the center of the universe. Most cultures, most places, they saw it that way. Aristotle, he gave big insights into cosmology, but Earth is the center of the universe. That is the position. And after Copernicus, we see it differently. But what is the model of an ordinary person? Earth is not the center of the universe. What is the center of the universe? Do you want to tell? Ordinary human being. What is the center of the universe for an ordinary person?
Me, me. Our bodies, our families, I guess they orbit around themselves. They are their own center.
Yeah, absolutely. The center of the universe is for the ego based life. Helplessly, he cannot think of anything beyond the ego. It is not even the body, but he thinks of, ego thinks of itself. If the body doesn't fulfill his needs, he will commit suicide also. So he doesn't worry about the body. And so that is the model, and that is the way we are operating. And with that model, ego is all the 10 different ego together. We call it Ravan. For Ravan, the model of the universe, he doesn't need anything beyond that world of dolls. All these different identities are based on that. Different heads of Ravan. One is based upon, different heads of Ravan. One is based upon bodily appearance. One is based upon hat. One is based upon job. They are all trapped into different aspects of that box, different heads. Maybe sense objects. One head is obsessed with some sugar. One head is obsessed with lust. One head is obsessed with someone else. So, but it is within that box, not beyond. And at present, we are absolutely in that. It is like the dark night of the soul, where we don't even question this. That has become, world of dolls has become our world, and no questioning. We of course are right. Science is a very good example of this. Using science, but behind that it is Ravan's position that don't question anything else. This physical world is all that exists, and that's all that matters. This is the model of the intellect. Intellect is holding that model. Nothing can be done about it if the intellect doesn't change the model. We may have the knowledge and all, but even after knowledge, ego will just adapt, and we will create another identity based upon I am spiritual, something like this, but we'll stay within that world of dolls, and create some image about himself. I'm humble, I'm holy, this kind of thing. And will be affected by small things that happen in that world, in that box. And that is what we said yesterday. These identities, say someone has an identity based on religion. So whenever he sees you, he will see you by your religion. It is not possible for him to see you as a soul. So if there are 4 people, he will say someone is a Methodist, someone is a Catholic, someone is Hindu. That is what he will see. And he may respect you, but based upon that particular area. If the identity is based upon his car, he will see you by the car that you drive. And he may respect you, but he will respect based upon how big is the car, what make of the car is. Then there will be respect for you. There can be friendship also even. You belong to that club. If someone is identifying with his job, He will ask you, what do you do? And that is exactly what his concept is about who you are. We say dolls, he sees the doll, but he's seeing this doll is some senior person, some in a certain job. That is what he will see. Either there will be respect or no respect based upon what is happening at that level. Okay, you are not seeing these gross things. It is possible, you have become, sort of, let us say, a religious person. He's not interested in your car and not interested in a job, but he might at least see you by your actions, what you did, what if you are performing good actions, bad actions, and he will, but still in the level of the dolls. Are you holy doll or not? Someone has done some wrong thing, then that is the trap. He will see you always by the person who was telling a lie, told a lie 10 years ago. And that will be the vision. If you have done some holy action, you have sort of saved 100 people, that is the level they get trapped. This Ravan is the real problem of Ravan is stone intellect. So our journey is so long, so big, but Ravan gets trapped at something narrow. He will treat you forever because you saved 100 people 10 years ago, and based upon that is the respect for you. What will be the vision if you are soul conscious? In a real sense, if you are soul conscious, what will be your vision? What will you see? You want to tell? If you are truly soul conscious,
That's an amazing question, irrespective of the actions, specialities, the expression, the best in everyone, specialities, other souls. It wouldn't be based upon what's being performed in the drama. A nice drama, and then the game behind is other dots.
yeah. Even this seeing the specialities of the dolls, then you are yourselves in that identity, limited identity. So if you are in the soul awareness, and you will see the angelic soul who is beyond this world of dolls. You will see the angelic prince, something we were referring to yesterday. You are seeing the immortal, actor, and he is associated with those dolls and associated with the different part that is completely separate from him. It is not a patronizing feeling, you are bad, I'm respecting you, I'm doing favor on you. That won't be coming there. He knows that he is immensely worthy, forever worthy. And that world of dolls is completely separate. He may be playing the part of a dictator and maybe cruel also, something that is, you know that, you have seen that. That is a part. And the actor is completely separate. That will be very, very clear for him if he is soul conscious. One is knowledge, but other is being able to do this. We have one friend here, and also neighbor, and he's an actor, and he said he has killed many people. And what he means, he acts for BBCs in different dramas. He gets called, and he says he has been killed many times, and he has killed many people. So in the drama, that is the part he has to play. Okay, and he plays the part. He goes home. He gets paid for the part. He is immensely a kind person, but that's the part he plays. We don't have, we don't judge him even 1% because of the part he played, because we know him, who he is. It doesn't change, not even the slightest. If it was to change, it is our confusion. It is not his problem. It is my problem. Same here. But if we are childish, this happens in the drama also. If a child is seeing someone acting in a drama, villain, they don't forget. They treat him as a bad person rest of the time when drama finished, because they can't they can't see. It is like a narrow intellect with children. Ravan's intellect is like that. Not necessarily bad, but narrow intellect, stone intellect. And so gets trapped into this world of dolls. We have the option first to change our intellect. That is necessary. It is not optional. If we want to bring about this change, if we want to be soul conscious, one is knowing of the soul, and continue with that false identities, and that doesn't stop there. Those false identities get bigger. It is the law. Whichever identity is active, it wants to get bigger. So that is one way. And also spirituality also gets incorporated into that Ravan's camp. But it is important, maybe urgent for us to change the intellect. We use the word paras. Paras includes broad intellect, unlimited intellect, and it includes subtle intellect. Necessary to see this on a big map, to be able to see the sky beyond this world of ants. Yesterday we were using the word ants in the ant world. So we need the subtlety behind. I'll give a scenario, and that will help us. One boy, here in Cambridge, and then his mother tells the story. This boy that time was 4 years of age, and mother takes him to his friend one day in a week. She takes him to a friend. He plays with his friend for 1 hour, and then they come home. And mother says he cries for the rest of the day. He enjoys 1 hour, and in her words, he cries for 8 hours. And it is a big thing for her. She questioned, is it worth going there? She wants to give him a nice time, but instead of a good time, he actually cries 8 hours. So what is going on there? Why? My mother also goes there. Mother also enjoys that 1 hour, but she doesn't cry when she comes home. But this boy cries. What's the difference? Dude, yeah. It is intellect, of course. And what is happening with the intellect?
We can't see the same scale. The boy got attached because he's confused. The
Yeah,
boy
what is
wants to-
happening? They are going to be there for 1 hour. That is the whole idea. And mother tells him also, that we are going to be there for 1 hour. And he knows, he has been there earlier weeks. But, with the intellect of the children, the whole time dimension is very different. With children up to the 7 months of age, their worldview is two-dimensional. They can't see the depth. They feel this world is like a paper, paper painting, two-dimensional. If you hide something behind, they don't know what has happened. It has disappeared. They don't feel they can go behind and get it. As we get older, then we can understand how there is a third dimension, so they find it is an invention for them. But the dimension of time develops very, very slowly. For a long time, they only live in the present. They only know the present. They can't see the future at all. So if you tell a child, give me your chocolates, I will give you 10 chocolates. 10 minutes later, child cannot understand this even. Even 10 minutes, leave aside 10 hours. Gradually, this time dimension opens up. But it is slow that, that's why very, very different children's perspective of time and adult perspective of time. Childishness is because of that. They cannot take decisions. Going into college and job, as if it really not there. They feel they will remain children forever. This kind of position during certain phases of the child. So here he goes to the friend's house, and he likes this time with the friend, and the exit is not real for him. In 1 hour's time we are going to go. That is not real. And if you can't see that exit, then he feels he's going to be here forever. He's going to be with his friend, and that place is forever. So the guard is lowered, and now he goes into this spiral. There is no guard anymore. And what we often say, he crosses that dotted green line. And now, after 1 hour, mother says, we are going back home. And going back home, what about my friend? And so he's already into the belief that he's going to be there forever. And he feels it is unfair that someone just takes him out of this world unfairly. He blames, through all this crying and all, within that is also blame also. And what is the result? He crosses the line that, narrow intellect, whatever. What is the result? Something that is meant to be of enjoyable time, he ends up crying and suffering unnecessarily. Otherwise, his home is also nice. Mother is happy to be with the friend. My mother is happy to be at home. It is a great time to be at home. And he can't enjoy his home because he has crossed this line and got into the wrong bondages. And there is sorrow from those bondages. Human beings are the same. Human beings, we have grown, we are not like that boy. We can understand 1 hour, we can see 10 years also, we plan things. But our own exit is not real to us, human beings. That this world of dolls is a temporary world for us, and we can be out of this any second. This is not real to us. Even though we may hear it, our whole planning is as if this is more important, this matters. We may hear the Murli on respect and self-respect, and we think it has to be at the level of the dolls. That is a very entrenched model. And we think of progress means collecting more junk in that world of dolls. Exit is not real. And when exit is not real, we go in that downward spiral. Subconsciously, we feel we are going to be here forever. A little bit shock when it comes. We have to go. We do not like it. And just like that boy, he can't enjoy that place, not his home. It is unnecessary. Unnecessary sorrow comes. The emphasis we are placing is we need an intellect that can see the unlimited, that can see eternity. That is our scale. We need an intellect that can see the subtle and understand that is normal for us. And it is important. That is our world, that is our home. Making it natural, normal. We hear these words in the Murli. Baba says, make this experience natural, normal. It will become natural, normal if Paras is strong. If Paras is not strong, then Pattar is strong. And Pattar absolutely, is upside down. It 100% favors Ravan. And Ravan lives upside down. Ravan lives in that world of dolls. Appears totally normal. The good news is everyone has Paras, and we have option to use it, but it is not strong. If it was strong, then it is all natural, normal. We have to make it strong. Some hobby, a hobby to make it strong. Repeatedly to play with some of the things we referred even in the last hour or last 15 minutes, what we referred. Like wherever you see, create this 10 seconds. Can I see behind this world of dolls? And I'm seeing the angelic prince who is the actor. But the actor is invisible. But let me see him for 10 seconds. Bring in this aspect. We'll see the bigger map, that this is a map, the performance, this is a gross stage, but there are actors here and there is a big reality behind. Just for 10 seconds. The hobby, fun. And each time you are playing with it, you are making it stronger. We heard in the beginning, Baba sharing the fun of the drill. And Baba said, play with this drill. 1 minute incorporeal, another minute angelic. And Baba used the word drill. This drill is to make paras strong, to make the intellect, exercise for the intellect. Just like other drill is to build the muscles here, that has to be made stronger. We will have a chance to come in the practice, but do you want to add anything?
Thank you. You probably answered this, but the question earlier, some heads are stronger than others. So no matter how much we practice, they don't go away completely. So how to be free?
The first thing we have to ask ourselves, are we using paras or are we using patthar? How can we know if we are still using patthar intellect? How can we know? The question, is there a way to know if we are still using patthar in a dominant way?
Another similar question. So Pata brings sorrow is one way that we might know. But I guess it first brings a fake happiness, so that thoughts are pulled to the drama.
Yeah, one is thought.
We don't feel ready to leave this world at any moment. That's a good answer.
Yeah. If we have created even the slightest attachment in this world of dolls, it is because of patthar. We are talking of world of dolls. Imagine there is a world of dolls. Will you really go there and start saying this is my auntie and this is my friend and this is mine, and I am myself that doll? Is it possible to say something like that? If you are watching a world of dolls, some performance, in a very fact, we have reached at that level to claim things and to say that this is my house, this is my property, this is mine, that word is used. Exit is not real. That is why a person will do that. If exit was real, he will not go, he will not cross that dotted line. So we have got, if that attachment is still there, if we still feel we own things within that world of dolls in any form, if those feelings are coming, it means patthar is very dominant. And as long as patthar is dominant, we won't be able to bring about these big changes in identities or Ravan's hates. Patthar favors Ravan. So it is like we are coming back to the drawing board and checking which intellect am I using. Spiritual effort is good, but we can do this job efficiently. If you use the right instrument, many things can be done very quickly. Whether it is in the kitchen or anywhere, if you use the right thing, then people do things very quickly. If it is a wrong thing you are using, then it will take a long time. So here, for our kind of effort, we need the best instrument, and we have to sharpen that. And if that is done, then it is fun. At least you know what is happening, you see the contrast, and then it is a wonderland. What we are talking about, the sky and what we say, we are talking about wonderland. It is the world with God and world of God. No one can have a higher quality of life than the one who is using his sight and intellect and experiences this. So let us start now and let us create a few minutes of experience. And during this time, feel free to close eyes if whatever that helps. But concentration experience is the most important thing. So in first second, we are starting with paras. And moment we are using paras, what happens? We see the world of dolls on one side. It is so vivid that it is a temporary world for everyone. Exit is very, very clear. As if it is appears to be very small world. You can also see the entry and exit, and it's all nice, all cute. Variety of characters within it. Sophisticated and rich, but it is a world of dolls. First is it is fictional world. It's a temporary world. It is a foreign world. This becomes very clear. Foreign world. Foreign world, it means no one, we don't have rights there. We can't own anything there. No rights means we don't even have rights. What should happen there, what should not happen. It's a foreign world. But it is fine. We don't need to own everything in this universe. So here we don't own anything. We see it clearly. One is Paras, he sees the world beyond this world of dolls. He sees the real world. That is very, very vivid and obvious. Expanse of light. We engage in this experience, world of light. Which means right now we are seeing that region of light and color. Understand the reality of this, the importance of this. This is the home of everyone. And this dimension is eternal. This is our world, deep inside a feeling of belonging here. In this sky is the true family. More like a presence. Each one is like a presence, invisible presence. But they are immortal. Just that they are not made of the stuff dolls are made of. One is they are immortal, and other is they cannot be harmed by anything, ever, not even the slightest. Totally secure and carefree. And grasp their feelings. When anyone is so secure, they naturally experience their happiness and their contentment and fullness. They feel they need nothing from anywhere, and they feel full. Silently, they feel they all are lucky. World of perfection, world of celebration. Celebration because all are worthy of respect and worthy of love. If anyone is secure, immortal, one with no needs, no desires, no disappointments, he remains sorrowless, viceless, egoless, selfless. This is what the personality of all are like this. That's why divine and noble. They are desireless, sorrowless, zero sorrow, zero vices, zero ego. All of them are because of this confusion with the word of dolls. Someone who is not confused with the world of dolls, they become completely free from that Ravan's madness. So they are Ravan-less. That is why we can call them divine beings. All are like this. That's a huge thing. Zero ego, zero sorrow, zero vices. All always. That level of wisdom and security and immortality makes them totally innocent. They can afford to be innocent. They don't need to be streetwise. They don't need cunningness to survive. World is like this, and their truth is like this. And this truth is eternal truth. Wherever they are, they know that they are beyond harm. And we are harmless. We understand that the natural state of everyone, all souls, is positive and divine. Human souls and also beyond, all souls. They are immortal. Their original state is divine. And worthy of love. They are like childlike. They don't have childishness. Intellect is not childish, but the personality is childlike. They are also godlike. Intellect is God, like God. We are understanding this extraordinary truth of everyone. And they are the same ones who come in the physical world. They are associated with different parts temporarily and different actions. They are associated, but they are alokik, unearthly, angelic, invisible brothers. For the one with paras, it is so obvious and normal. And this is a permanent truth. And all are like this. We don't need to have too much analysis to know someone is good or bad. Everyone is like this forever. It becomes easy. This alokik environment, world of God, world with God. This environment helps the true self to become conscious. The environment of the world of dolls doesn't favor the true self, especially with that passion and all that is going on around, hype that is created around the junk around this plastic world, plastic treasures, that totally favors the false identity. But this environment, alokik environment, favors the true self. And it is a new start. True self wakes up is a great news. You start. It is not I that we used our lives. No, we start clean. That's why the language wakes up. And first thing he understands, he is that presence, invisible presence. He has always been, now he has woken up, appears normal. To belong to that sky appears normal. To belong to that family, alokik family appears normal. To belong to the incorporeal Father appears normal because he himself is incorporeal. His complete independence from the world of dolls appear obvious. He is separate from the world of dolls. Cannot be mixed. It appears absurd to mix his life with anything in the world of dolls. There is a world and there is a script there, and that is separate. And he knows his world is completely separate. He is separate. And like others, when you are free from the world of dolls, you discover that state where there is no ego. All this department of ego and all is because of the Ravan's madness, Ravan's department is connected with the world of dolls. So if you are completely free from that, is naturally desireless, sorrowless, viceless, egoless. What remains is the experience of silent joy, silent contentment, silent peace. He knows that all are worthy to belong to God. All are worthy to be loved by God. All are worthy to have company of God. And God sees them that they are like Him. Their starting position, eternal truth, they are like God. And this is not an exaggeration. And in this belonging here, it is 100%. Their worthiness is 100%. Worthy to belong, worthy to be loved, worthy to have company. They are angelic princes who belong to the King of Kings. Truth is immensely beautiful. Truth of everyone is beautiful. If they are godlike and they are loved by God and worthy to belong to God. It's an environment of immense love and respect. It's a region of love and respect. But there's nothing else. All that has happened, we used the intellect. That is the difference. This whole dimension is an eternal dimension. It has always been. To experience it, we need the sight and we need the intellect. And everyone has the intellect. We just used it. And we realize it is the biggest prize. Eternal prize. We literally discover the true self, true family, truth. And in this prize is also the physical world. Physical world is not a problem. It's a great gift. But it is the angelic soul who is seeing it now. That's the difference. We are seeing it the right way. If it is a foreign world, we treat it as a foreign world with respect. Every moment is extraordinary. But it is fiction, fictional world. It is temporary world. You know it beforehand. We see that world with 100% freedom. Invisible prince, he becomes the invisible traveler. He becomes the invisible witness. He wins the sky, also wins the earth. see if the plan is to have rooms and
Yes, would be good. And from your thinking, what would be a nice way to open the conversation?
also how to build muscles, how to make us strong, discriminate which intellect we are using.
Are we using, and how to build the muscles and make Paris strong, metaphorically or literally? Okay, we'll put that in the chat. Thank you. We'll meet back in just over 10 minutes. Enjoy. Thank you for rich discussions. And we will be continuing now with a story, and a story of a fish.
Once upon a time, there was a fish that lived in the ocean. This fish had a great life, swimming amongst the other fish, both small and big, and enjoying everything that the underwater world had to offer. In time, the fish noticed that there was a land beyond the ocean where human beings lived, and they seemed happy, some playing loud music and having fun. The fish became curious and decided to venture out of the water to explore the land. At first it was difficult. The fish had to adapt to this new environment. It was suffocating, but managed to train itself to breathe with the help of an oxygen mask. Even though the sense of suffocation was ongoing, he dealt with this by constantly trying newer and more expensive models of oxygen masks and saw this as progress. The fish was fascinated by the human world and even found itself in a nightclub one day. For all this, a degree of suffocation is worth the price, the fish thought. Over time, the fish forgot about its life in the ocean. It became completely absorbed in the land. However, it had a strange fascination towards pictures of the ocean. It found itself collecting paintings of the ocean and photographs of water, though it didn't know why it was drawn to them. One day, the fish happened to visit the ocean with some friends and found itself back in the water. To its surprise, the fish discovered that it didn't need an oxygen mask anymore and could breathe naturally underwater. There was no suffocation and no struggle with life. It was a moment of disbelief. The fish realized that it had been living an unnatural life on land and that its true home was in the ocean.
The story serves as a powerful metaphor. Like the fish in the ocean, we ourselves have a supreme home of peace and joy, where there is no concept of desire or disappointment. Our starting position is a state of supreme joy, peace, and contentment. We know of our immortality. All of this is normal and natural. Even when we come to the physical reality, we remain connected to our supreme home. Just as guests never forget their home. As we move towards our lower consciousness, we lose touch with the supreme home and our truth. Much like the fish in the nightclub, we struggle and suffocate while in that consciousness, yet continue to believe that this temporary world will give us all the answers. Appearing to reduce our suffocations seems like success. For that, we keep upgrading our gadgets and acquiring smarter material possessions, which we call progress. Eventually, when we re-experience a higher consciousness and reconnect with our supreme home, we discover that state of peace and joy beyond struggle and suffocation. We discover a world of disbelief.
From the world of disbelief to the next video. I couldn't get rid of it. Nice to be reminded of this extraordinary primary world. So yeah, welcome back, and welcome back to Bishan. Thank you. If you have any thoughts or sharings from the rooms, happy to see you in the chat as well.
Also hear from Sanjay, your reflections.
Great, thank you. Yes, how to strengthen the paras intellect. It's a big challenge. Yet, as was said, why when we know, when there is the all knowledge in the mind, then it's just a matter of remind the self when time comes this truth. And there are many analogies that can be used, like the guest analogy, as was mentioned. One who comes to a place and it will be ridiculous to try to be on something there. The analogy of an alien is even better because he is full of curiosity to investigate whatever he sees, attached to nothing. He knows that he's going back home somewhere, sometime. So we don't want to be heavy whilst coming back home. And also we know that an exit from this world is guaranteed. No one asks us. We have to leave someday this physical world, so we came with nothing and we will go with nothing. So those thoughts create a paras intellect, and this is a matter of practicing more and more. like in a gym. You want to build a muscle, you have to practice it. And more practice, it will be ready for use whenever the time comes. And the experience here, that when Ravan and Maya always will try to do something, they're doing, they don't like to lose their customer. 63 births, she was a devotee for Ravan and Maya, and they don't like to lose him, so they will come. But as was said, knowledge is already there. Weapons against Maya and Ravan are already there. Just to pick them up in the right time and to remove them. And all the way it can be a fun also, like a game. Because we know we are safe and secure, nothing can happen to us. Immortal, eternal, secure forever. Om Shanti.
Thank you. And nice reminders. And also nice to be reminded of the factor of Maya. In this game, the huge role played by Maya. Like right now, we are listening to all these things. It is like the area of disbelief that was spoken of in the leading artificial life and the world that naturally is ours. And why we are not experiencing it, not why it is not natural for us. And the one reason is Maya. And Maya's one power is to flatten it. You hear it, you experience it also. And next thing Maya says, okay, let us merge it. And something else becomes very important in the plastic world. The reason we are using these words, and today we heard in the Murli, Baba using the word cartoon, and by using these words, you actually make Ravan smaller. Ravan wants to make a big hype about it. Our aim is to reduce the hype about things in that plastic world. We said it is a foreign world, it is a plastic world, it is a temporary world, fictional world. In order to lower the hype and repeatedly emerge the alokik. All of it is fun. We are talking about it is just not Ravan is the only one who is not interested in it. But every minute you are experiencing this, you are dealing with wonderland. One is it is truth, it is our truth. That is what we hear in the Murlis. So it is for a Brahmin, that is what they should. We would all like to do. But knowing is not enough. Understanding is not enough. To immerse it. Starting from the self. It is like we are seeing the true self. In this whole entire universe, it is the soul that is experiencing this. There is nothing else in the universe to experience. Conscious entity is the soul. And nice to see soul unmixed with anything of the plastic. See its independence. It's fun. It is like you don't need some special time to see it, and it is fun. You got any time just to try and dissect it out from the other things. In Patthar, we mix it. That is the only situation. We have mixed it so much that the soul, even the concept of it has disappeared. Here you are freeing it from the plastic world completely. That's why Prashant is a part within that plastic world, and the soul is completely separate. So if you see that complete independence, big experiences follow. Ravan is the only factor that brings other feelings, other experiences, blocks it. So knowing the game, and then we play the game. Our respect for others, it should lead to upliftment. Our love, whole thing, just like Baba's love, it leads to benefit. If it is Ravan flavored, then it is all directed at the drama level, and then it actually takes them away. It doesn't lead to upliftment. So we want love, we want respect, we want values, we want virtues, but in an environment of truth. It would be nice if you want to hear, if you want to share anything or any other thoughts, comments. And we'll also hear from Sarah.
Yeah, I saved some questions from earlier. I think what's standing out for me, Sanjay touched on it. It's like a feeling of mercy when we focus on the intellect. And sometimes it's said first is mad, and then there's bad and sad. So confusion is the first problem. And then the pata gives the environment for Ravan. So now we know. And the habit from devotion is, okay, we know something is wrong and there's a guilt mixed up with it. And we can do the same thing today, that you go and the heaviness, but understand that the environment is promoting that and create the environment. There will be this department of resistance. We have the inner child spin, that character. We have that childish intellect within. We have the adult intellect within. Create the space for the adult intellect. So, and it's fun. Some questions.
Yeah, sure.
5, 6 questions here. In the group, the question, how to handle boredom when you've used the same method for a period of time.
The same method for a period of time.
And then one gets bored.
Mhm. What really happens is, if even the same method, if it is applied accurately, it takes you into soul consciousness. And in that space, in that soul conscious space, there is no boredom. In that space, you are seeing the wonder. It doesn't appear, it appears new each time you are coming in that space. It is, you are happy with it. Freshness, it appears fresh. So to go deeper, if it is at a, as was said, Maya will distract you, will keep it at a superficial level, and then you can get bored. But even then, Baba gives cluster of practices. At one time, Baba says, see yourself as a guest, another time as a trustee, remember the home, remember Baba as a father, Baba as a guru, and a range of different practices. Experience subtle region, experience soul world. So to play with different things, sometimes like here, we are talking about soul, but we are using the language invisible traveler. And we use the word invisibly incarnate, alien, invisible alien. Some new words brings new angle and new energy, and then some, there is a intoxication. There's no time for boredom.
Could be same practice, some different words to create the nuance.
Yes.
Intellect can bypass sometimes solve. So yeah, it's nice. This is an easy.
If you use the same word, then what happens is Maya comes in, you say, oh, I heard it, I know it, and your brain bypasses it as if you didn't, it is not so important, something like that. We are talking here, it is the amazing thing, but it is a wonderful thing in the universe. So, but we say not again, the Maya will say, we heard it so many times. But for yourself, use these different words, different times. So it becomes new and fresh and interesting.
I think that's very helpful. Thank you. Paras, the word paras, is it meaning the third eye? Are they the same thing?
Almost, yeah. But we are using it with the intellect. Intellect helps us interpret things. Eyes helps us see things, but intellect, as was said, intellect helps us to grasp the model. It is a model of how things are.
Question.
It is more accurate to use the word intellect.
Okay, good. Yeah, thank you. In the philosophy, the word number-wise is used, meaning like variety. We're all different with different capacities. So the question, doesn't it mean that not all of us can have a high intellect?
Yeah. The best way to interpret down the word number-wise, there is a variety. In a family, there is a grandfather, there is a son, there are sisters and brothers and grandson. Not that anyone is superior and inferior, but they are all different. That is what makes a family. There's a variety. In a community, all can't be the same. They are all different. They all play different parts. And so that is to intercede that way. That's a soft interpretation of number-wise.
Yeah, that's nice. Has a much better feeling. Someone is saying, so I am a better BK could be an identity? And if so, what would be the Vinash force for that?
Someone will tell you, you are not accurate, you are not punctual. We want to be accurate. We want to be perfect in all our actions. Strive to follow the lifestyle, but not to create an identity based on that. Because the truth is, we are souls. But as was said, the false identity will come based on anything, based upon virtue you have, based on actions you have done, anything. False identity will come. And we don't stay there. We want to be virtuous, but not to create an ego around it.
It feels like intellect is the key because so easily self-respect could just rest on top of the apparent holiness of a role. So it feels like the line gets very challenging on the path. So what is it that has helped you to keep, or are you finding this challenging? Because it's like the perfection is not about the role, but there will be some change. And then a lot of attention can be there because it gets projected back onto the role, even though we're talking about souls.
Yeah, it is nicely put. Our perfection, we are not trying to attain perfection at the level of the role, but experience. The soul is already perfect and eternally perfect. So to experience that, that is why using intellect, making it strong and fly.
Yeah. That is simple practice, but if it's clear and clean, it just brings a lot of joy, doesn't it, to separate it all out. Yeah. Maybe one question, you've touched on it, but anything further? How do we know if we are detached and are in true self-respect or Swaman? Like, is it that we don't take any praise? You know, nothing can affect us. Any thoughts?
Yeah. It is just as right now, for example, wherever we are, you know, we see there is a tree there and there is a cloud there. We are seeing it, but we at the same time know our independence from it all. You know, if you go to someone's house, you may be sitting on the chair there, but at the same time you have a attitude, internal attitude of independence and freedom from the whole thing. In the same is the attitude of the invisible prince, angelic prince with this world of plastic. He is in this world, but internally he feels free from it. He is involved, including the body and the role. But he knows any second it can change, it can go. Knows about it. Is aware of his world. So the word independence is a nice word. That is what we want to experience. The proof of it will be you won't be affected when things change. But we are not waiting for the pain to tell us about attachment. We want to become free before pain. Remain independent. The invisible, it is not Prashant who is detaching from everything else, but the invisible soul detaching from Prashant and detaching from the whole department of the world of dolls.
Being free before pain feels like the ultimate self-respect, true self-respect. It's almost like raising the bar. So those alokik experiences are a reference point. So then everything else stands out. Otherwise, reference point has dropped. That's the problem. We have lost contrast. So don't be the student that learns through the teacher's wrath, but learn through, the honor. So then that is a protection, isn't it? Have a high vision, see as Baba sees you, see as, stay under that energy. And, I know we've come to time. Another question has just come in. Does the Brahmin still conform with social norms, like asking people, how are you? Even though they don't get a real answer from soul consciousness, is it respect to continue with these pleasantries?
Yes, and when anyone asks how are you, or you know, and the weather is nice, it is just making each other comfortable in that environment, showing friendship, and nothing wrong with it. We are internally, your vision and attitude is different, but we interact in the society, and whatever the culture is, we have to adapt to that culture. As long as we don't get carried away by this, remaining in our truth and be involved in this world.
You. So anything final you would like to add? And we will be also finishing with a drill. Some thoughts from Baba. Any final thoughts?
Yes, the most important area for us is having that program of 100%, paras, maybe for 1 minute, but go for that repeated, experience what it will be like to come out of this spell, to break out of the spell 100%, not 50%, not 90%, because the 10% Ravan, it blocks the experience. If you do it this, even for 1 minute, but completely free, it leads to the alokik experiences. Easy method. And these alokik experiences, it keeps the enthusiasm, and it opens, in the example of the fish, rediscovering the ocean and world of disbelief. If you get that experience, even 1 minute, you understand something like wonder, and it opens the door, for new exploration. Yeah, so have fun.
And it's how we start. So we are coming back to normal. And I like the way it was put, like, what would it be like? You bypass the old programming and just see it for 1 minute. Yeah, thank you. Thanks to everyone, especially translation and everyone's contribution and presence. We'll finish with a drill from Madhavan. Thank you.